Hello everyone, and I hope you've been having a great day. This isn't where I usually record, but it's gonna have to do for now because where I usually record is being occupied, which is perfectly fine. I just hope you don't mind the extra noise in the background. It shouldn't mess with the voiceover too much. But we're finally back with another drawing YouTubers that inspire me, and this is episode 2. I know I don't sound that excited, but I've had a really long day today, so please bear with me. I'm gonna sound a lot more monotone than I usually do, but that's just because I'm really sleepy. I've been holding off on this video for a while, mostly because I couldn't really pick a YouTuber to draw. I was between 3 options, and obviously I'm gonna do them in later episodes, but I still needed to pick one for this episode. But as you can see from the thumbnail, I did end up picking one YouTuber, and that YouTuber is Callimara. Hello everyone, so it's the next day, and I'm actually in my studio this time. There's still a lot of noise, but that's just because of the cars out the window, so I hope that you don't mind that either. But like I said, today's YouTuber is Callimara. And I'm gonna be talking about her and also a little bit about my drawing process, but not that much in depth. However, if you guys would like to see an in-depth video about my drawing process, then you can totally go check out the video that I posted before this one called My Drawing Process, and I also talk about art style. But anyways, time for the actual segment where I talk about Callimara. I decided to do Callimara instead of the other 3 options I had because I really like her persona and the persona's color palette, so I thought it would be really fun to draw and a really good way to start off the second episode. Callimara does all the stuff I love. You know, she writes stories, she does redesigns and rewrites, she draws, she makes her own OCs, and I just think what she does on her channel is really cool. Obviously, she inspires me because of her art style. Like, her art is beautiful. You guys should totally check out her Instagram because she posts her stuff there, but her art is gorgeous. And not only that, but she just goes into so much detail about whatever it is that she's talking about. Like, you can tell that her videos are scripted and that a lot of thought was put into them, but not in a bad way. Like, it's so well coordinated and well written, and you can tell how much work she puts into it. Like, for example, her Miraculous Ladybug redesigns, where she not only redesigned their looks, but also rewrote the entire story and the plot, which I think is really cool. She's so good at describing things and just making things generally descriptive. So when you hear her talking or reading off her script, like, it sounds like you're reading a book or that you're having an audiobook read to you. And as somebody who loves to read, I think that's really awesome. And I totally recommend going to her channel and supporting her because not only did she recently hit 100k, but she started a series called Wild Word, which is basically her own version of Miraculous if it was, you know, good, well written, and not about kids. It's actually about adults. But you'll see what I'm talking about, especially in Wild Word, when you watch each episode, because it's narrated by her with little snippets of the voice actors that she has, but her narrating is so descriptive and it's also accompanied by her wonderful drawings. So I really do suggest that you check it out, especially if you're somebody who enjoys audiobooks or you love stories and character design and stuff like that. So please go support her channel. Another thing I love about Callimara is how forward she is about her culture. If you guys didn't know, Callie is actually Indonesian. You can see how she showcases her culture in some of her videos, like for example when she designed a spider sona, and she talked a lot about Indonesian culture and how she wanted it to reflect her sona, which I think is really cool, also because I'm always someone who struggles with trying to identify with my culture, especially here on my channel. I'm Haitian American and my voice doesn't really say that, and I bet half of you couldn't even tell I was a black person. But I really do appreciate her talking about her culture and her sharing it with us. I just think it's really heartwarming, and it makes me want to share my culture with you guys. Well, at least as much as I know about it, because, you know, I am Haitian, but Haitian American and mostly Americanized, so there's not much I can say. But I do think that it's really amazing that she shares her culture with her viewers, and I didn't even know that much about Indonesia until I started watching Callimara's videos. So I really do appreciate that about her channel, and I think it's an aspect that not a lot of YouTubers talk about. And going a little bit off topic, well, a lot off topic from the culture thing, but I just really think that Callimara is like channel goals. She's everything I aspire to be one day. I don't know, and I don't think that this channel will get that big, but if it does, then I'm definitely gonna start doing the things that she does, which is things she loves and things I love, which is, you know, writing, reading, of course drawing, and maybe even doing redesigns and rewrites of my own. I kind of just haven't jumped on the train yet, but maybe I will, so if you want to, then you can stay tuned for that. But anyway, I think what Callimara does is amazing. She's really good at doing commentary, writing scripts, and just giving you an overall feel, because even if you're somebody who doesn't like reading and you're like, oh, I'm not much of a person who enjoys stuff being narrated to me, watching Wild Word feels like watching a movie, and it really is an amazing experience. Another thing I love about Callimara is how she brings people together. And I mean, I actually mean this in a literal sense, because ever since I joined her Discord server, I just feel such a big sense of community and welcome. And there's even a literary discussion, you know, tab, so you can talk about your own stories, your Wild Word OCs and stuff like that. And it's just a really nice community. Everybody in the Callimara Discord server are all super nice. And you know, that whole principle of the creators project their selves onto the people that watch them. You can tell this isn't scripted. But the creators project their personality onto the viewers that watch them, and so their viewers, you know, retain that, and they act like the people they watch. That being said, since Callimara is such a kind and sweet and amazing individual who's really good at writing stories and very mature and very good at what she does, then that becomes her community. And it's really nice to just find a community who, you know, enjoys writing, enjoys reading, enjoys drawing as well, because it's all the stuff I love and I just feel included somewhere. So I really like Callimara because of the community that she's built, especially because joining her Discord server was only the second time that I joined a YouTuber server, because the first time was actually joining Celestia server because I wanted to promote my art and my channel and also just connect with the people on there, which I have been doing, but only a little bit, because I don't know, I guess it's because of the target audience. Celestia's target audience seemed to just be a lot of young adults, because there's a little intro section and I look and it's just a bunch of like 20-30-year-olds, people that have like children, and I just feel really out of place there. Everybody's so like stern and serious, so being in Cali's server is like a fresh breath of air, just a bunch of young creators that love reading, love writing, love drawing, and they're very spontaneous and funny and nice people. Also, I don't mean to sound like an adult hater. Like, I still will make friends if you're like 30 and you have like 2 kids. Like, I'm not trying to say that adults are boring or that adults are stern and serious. Just those adults specifically, like, I don't know. I just couldn't roll with them the way I roll with everybody in the Callimara server. But I really do enjoy it there, and I think she's been building a really nice community. But anyway, I think I'm gonna stop there, because I did mention, I think in the intro, that I was gonna talk about my drawing process a little bit, and I don't want to leave you guys in the dark about that. And also because if I were to keep talking about Callimara, then the speed paint would end and we'd be here for another 20 minutes, and I know you guys don't have that time. So let me just talk about my drawing process a little bit. This time, as you saw in the beginning, I did sketch my own body, so for anybody thinking that I'm just like a weird tracing person that just takes other people's sketches off of Pinterest all the time, I did sketch my own body this time. I do know how to draw. I just took a shortcut for that video because I wanted to get it out fast, and like I said there, I didn't know how to draw that pose. I did my line art, not really line art, and for my next few videos, I actually start doing, you know, clean line art again, but I probably will switch back and forth between those, so expect that. I did my hatching. Hatching is basically little lines, so you see them on her clothes, her sweater, her hair. And like I said in my drawing process video, I always do my hatching by hand. I do it manually. I don't have a brush for it or anything because, one, it's more fun for me that way because I really like doing my hatching by myself. And also because I have specific places where I put my hatching and I want them to go in certain directions. So I always do my hatching on my own. As for how I shade, it's a mix between cell shading and blending out my shading, because some places I want to look soft and some places I want to actually have hard shadows, like where the hatching is. So I do a mix between those two. However, I don't really know how to explain my coloring. My art teacher told me once that I have my own sense of color, which means that I just color in a certain way that makes it really easy to tell that I drew something, but I don't really know how to describe how I pick colors. I just pick what looks good. And for this drawing, I used a reference of Callimara that I found on her community tab, so I can't really say that I picked most of the colors for this one. Maybe for the background and for the overlay, but that's basically it. What I can tell you about though is the way I did shading for this drawing. Usually when I shade, I like to use colors with bright saturation, which means the colors are just really bright and visually appealing. Like, for example, you see me doing the blue shirt that she wears under her vest. I used a really bright dark blue for that because I just really wanted to pop out. And like for the vest itself, I used this really muted orange, and also I used it for her hair. So that's something that I did. And I also changed the color of the outlines because I really wanted it to be orange so it would go with my overlay. You see me playing around with purple here, but I ended up not using purple for this drawing and just putting the overlay on its own, which could also work, so you don't always have to do the dark purple multiply layer. That's just something I usually do. I thought about doing a little jellyfish squid looking thing on the side since that space was really empty, but I ended up not liking it, so I got rid of it and just decided to write her name there. And I made the background dark purple just to compensate for the fact that I didn't do the multiply layer, but it went really well with her color palette, so I used this muted dark purple and I added a white border because I really like doing that to my drawings. It just makes it look really cohesive. Added my signature and some sparkles, and I finished. Well, after adding some highlights, but yes, I did finish. And I hope you guys like the drawing. So now on to my final thoughts. Usually at the end of the video, I'd be like, oh, I hope you guys like it, and I hope the creator that I drew likes it too. But I actually posted this in the fan art channel of Callie's server, and she saw it and she thought it was gorgeous. So thank you, Callie. That really did make my day. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And before I end, I just want to say something about Small Creator of the Day. I want you guys to know that it's not very easy to find small creators because, yeah, there's always going to be some really underrated person that only has 5 subscribers, but then you actually have to go looking for them. And with all of the editing and the voiceover and the hecticness that I mentioned would be happening for me in a few of my previous videos, sometimes I'm too tired to get up and look for a small creator that deserves recognition. And I do really want to highlight every single one of you, because there are small creators that do deserve recognition, and you're doing very, very well. But between spending like 10 minutes searching for an underrated person with 10 subscribers and doing my biology homework, I'm obviously gonna pick the one that's gonna benefit me later. So if you guys want to help me out and you're a small creator, then feel free to leave a link to your channel in my comments section to be part of the video. Not that there's not a small creator for this video, because I did subscribe to their channel so I wouldn't lose it and I could use it for this video, but I can't find it anymore. I think YouTube did the thing that it does where it'll just make you unsubscribe to people for no reason. So that's pretty sad. But if you're a small creator who wants your channel to have some recognition, then feel free to put your channel in the comments section and I'll include it in my next video. Whatever that video will be, because I barely have time to edit now. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Probably not next week though, but I will, so goodbye.